When we look at the landscape of global missions, the Philippines is in a strategic location physically and spiritually because it's one of the most unreached, persecuted regions of the entire world. The Philippines actually has 10% of its entire population living overseas. So out of a country of almost 112 million people, that means that 10 million of them are living outside of the country. And the important fact of that statistic is that there's millions of them that are actually living inside of the Middle East. There's another few million living inside of the most persecuted areas of Asia. And the Philippines might be actually one of the largest Christian armies that once they're activated in this side of the world can absolutely change the face of how we look at the Great Commission in the next 10 years.
We have seen a tremendous amount of fruit when the Filipinos see their God-given calling and they get a hold of it, and they go to the nations and they preach the gospel and they tell people about Jesus. And I just personally been so encouraged and so challenged by them and the boldness that they carry for the gospel. Some of them come from the lowest places and craziest backgrounds, but regardless of that, they have said yes to the call, they have said yes to Jesus, and they've made such an impact of the nations. And I am so excited to see so many more Filipinos rise up and take the gospel to the ends of the earth.
Hi everyone, my name is Arvin and I'm a volunteer staff here at YWAM PH Impact. God has been doing a lot of great things with my life and I'm grateful for His life. I grew up in an orphanage. I struggled a lot with hating myself and hating my families, most especially my mom and my dad for leaving us in the orphanage. I have a brother and I have a sister that I grew up there, and we face a lot of rejection, face a lot of shame, loneliness, and just feeling of anxieties and depression when we were growing up. And we felt like we would carry this all throughout our lives, that we would face rejection all of our lives. When I met Jesus Christ when I was in grade 6, everything changed with me. I started to receive His love, and I started to develop a love for Him and for people as well. And that made me wanted to be more involved with missions and ministries. And all throughout my high school and college life up until now, I have been involved with mission trips and ministries inside the church, wherein I grow my identity. Right now, God has been using me here at YWAM PH Impact to actually prepare this generation to look forward for the return of Jesus Christ. I am actually committed and devoted for this work of advancing the kingdom of God and fulfilling the Great Commission. And I am so blessed that God can actually use someone like me who came from an orphanage to impact this generation.
And raised in a tribe called Mandayati Babawan. Living in the tribe was fun. In our village, we have a celebration where every villager is required to bring an offering. Aside from that offering, we have a pig, which served as the main offering. The leaders of our village would dance around the altar while stabbing the pig using a spear. I thought the God we serve is the one true living God, but I was wrong. When God called me to do mission, there's so much hesitation in my heart. Why would God call someone like me who came from the tribe? But then one event, God spoke to me the verse of Isaiah 6. Whom shall I send? I said yes to His calling, and I've witnessed hundreds and thousands of people who came to know God. Now, my heart is to see people from the tribe who will say yes to God. And I've seen God doing that now. And there will be a generation of armies coming from different tribes to reach other tribes.
India has a big place in my heart. We went to the darkest and hardest places in southern part of India. We encountered human sacrifice. We even went to a place where we don't even know their names nor their age. And lastly, we went to where there was a terrorist attack. At that moment, I knew that my situation is gonna be life and death. But the presence of God and His love towards me were giving me a way to even go furthermore to the last and lost people in southern part of India. My life is willing to sacrifice for His children, His sons and daughters, especially in India. The Lord loves Indian people, and that gave me a reason to go further to finish the Great Commission. And my life will be a living testimony to other people. And I always believe in my whole life that one life will make an impact to other souls. And let's continue to really go further and share the gospel wherever we go.
We as a Filipino, God gave us a special gift that we can use to advance His kingdom here in the Philippines and in every nation. And did you hear the story of the girl who was in India? A Filipino girl was sent in India just to share the gospel, just to share the love of God. And you know, even our tribal people, God is raising up their voice. They used to be passive, but now God is raising up their voice just to carry the love of God and to share the love of God. And even the stories of brokenness. We saw how God turned the story of brokenness into a testimony and into a powerful encouragement to advance the kingdom of God. So that's the wonderful works that God is doing with the Filipino.
I am Impact. I am Impact.
I am Impact.
Aduna ko'y impact.
Kaya ang usab ka ng kinabuhi.
Ako ay impact.
Shakti Impact.